Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tuesday Tips and Tricks. I'm Max from WeVideo, and we got a lot of great stuff lined up today. We'll be going over keyboard shortcuts and how you can use them to streamline your video editing process and make everything run faster, quicker, and more smoothly, as well as highlighting some of the new motion titles we've always. If you're watching on YouTube, please leave a like and subscribe, as well as hit the bell in the top right corner so you can receive notifications. I will be addressing questions throughout and at the end, so please pop into the chat any questions or projects you're working on, and we can see how we can help. And with that, let's bring on our co-host, Tyler Wall.
Hello, Max, and happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, Tyler.
Yeah, like you said, great episode today. We're going to go over some shortcuts with the guys.
Yeah, so this one's probably slightly more technical than maybe a few we've done in the past. We'll also have a complete list of all the shortcuts we cover that we will paste in the chat momentarily. With that, let's hop into the editor and get down to it.
Sounds good. All right, so like Max said, this can be a little bit more advanced. I do recommend you figure out what a lot of these shortcuts are before you use them. For example, splitting clips. Some of these other tools that are within WeVideo, it's a good idea to just get the basics before you jump into shortcuts, typically. But depending on how you are, there's a lot of people I know that love shortcuts. So let's go over a couple of these now.
Yep, probably the best one to go over first, in case you do make a mistake, is undo.
Undo. This is a shortcut that is pretty universal throughout a lot of applications. So a lot of you are probably familiar with it already. I'm going to go ahead and delete this clip. All right, and to undo that, it's Command Z, Control Z if you're on Windows or PC. So like I said, that's one that most of you probably already know just in general from using any sort of computer operating system. If you wanted to do this without the shortcut, we can go ahead and delete this clip and then click on this button right here. That's going to undo as well.
Perfect.
So pretty straightforward. Another basic one that you probably already know is saving. So in WeVideo, there's an automatic save feature that is pretty great to have. You can see in this bottom left corner here. If I make changes, it's going to save this while I'm editing. But it's a good practice to get in the habit of saving throughout your edit. So to do that, you're just going to hit Command S. You can see there's a little pop-up screen there as well that was capturing the thumbnail.
Good thing to cover again. When you save, WeVideo will capture your 3 most recent saves and use them as a thumbnail, which you can select which one you'd prefer to use once you hit finish under exporting. And that thumbnail will be what shows up when you share the native video link with anyone on social media or just web URL via email.
Great. All right, so let's just keep on moving through these shortcuts. Another great one to know, and one that you might already know. We'll start going through the ones we think you know already, okay? So to begin playing when you're editing, it is spacebar. And likewise, if you press spacebar again, that's going to pause it. So this is a great tool to use. It's pretty universal throughout any nonlinear editing system. You're going to find that spacebar will begin playing for you. So I use this all the time. It's a great habit to get into, is using spacebar to play. You can also do that up here. preview window if you're more of a button presser. All right. So next up, if you hit Shift Enter, that's going to bring you to the beginning of your edit and start playing automatically. This is a great one to know. A lot of times when we are making changes to an edit, we want to quickly preview the entire thing, especially if it's a short video. We find ourselves going and dragging over here, and then pressing play. A quick way to do that is just Shift Enter. Super useful. Again, one that I use a lot when editing.
Perfect. We do have our first question, Tyler.
Oh, great.
On YouTube from Catalina Treats Gluten-Free Bakery, and she asks, after she's edited something, is there a way to snap the text or video clip to fill a gap?
Snap the text or
let me rephrase. Is there a way to close the gap when you delete a clip on your timeline to bring the clips back together?
Okay, yeah, I think I understand the question. All right, so let's try and recreate this. I'm actually in a template, so you can see it acts a bit different. There's a lot of templates within WeVideo that are super useful. But I believe our question is, let's say I have a clip in between these two, and I'm doing an edit, and I want to delete this one. I don't like this clip. And then I've got this big space here. So to snap that together, you're going to highlight both these clips, right-click on your mouse, click Close Gaps, and that's going to bring those two together. And this can be done with, let's say we have 3 or 4 clips that are we were editing and we deleted all these, and there's all these spaces now. So you can do that with multiple clips as well. So right-click once you've selected all these, close gaps, and it's going to bring them all together like that.
Save a lot of time there.
Yep.
While we're still on the topic of shortcuts, we kind of used a couple just here. The backspace is obviously one that's pretty intuitive. Another is basically what you just did, is zooming in and out of your timeline.
Yeah, that's a great one. Let's go over that. So a lot of you probably know down here in the bottom right corner, we have this zoom tool. That's one that is very, very useful, especially when you have a long project that's taking up a lot of space. You need to zoom in to a specific area or zoom out to see your overall edit. There's a shortcut for this. It is Shift plus. You can see that's slowly zooming in when I hit that, and Shift minus to zoom out. So that's a very useful tool. Another one I think I kind of brushed over here. You could see that I was making multiple duplicates of this. This is a question we get quite often, actually, Max.
Yeah, this one's a great feature, and honestly, there's no, I think, easy way to do this without the shortcut, aside from maybe just copying and pasting. But this, yeah. Also, copy and paste, that's another one. Control C, Control V, Command C, Command V, if you're on a Mac. And those are pretty intuitive and universal with any web page.
Yeah, so you can see I'm copying and pasting this clip. That's one way to do it. Or you can click on the clip, hold Shift, drag to the right, and you can see it's created a duplicate. I can select 2 clips, create two duplicates of the same clip at the same time. So it's a very, very useful tool.
Yeah, we had a recent question, I believe, on the Facebook business community. Someone had gone through the process of doing a whole animated intro, and we've covered that in a previous episode, and wanted to use that same sort of animation sequence in their outro as well. And And so by highlighting everything and then just holding shift, they were able to easily do that.
Great. All right, let's move along to some shortcuts that help us navigate through our edit. There's quite a few of them. So let's start with the basics. All right, let's say I want to get to a specific point on this clip. I can press right or left. And you can see that is moving my playhead a frame forward, a frame back. This is really useful when you need to split the clip in a specific area. And speaking of splitting, let's go ahead and use the shortcut for that. So a lot of you might use this scissors icon here on your playhead. That's one way to do it. That will split the clip. Or you can press, once you've selected the clip, obviously, press S, and that will also split your clip in half. So that's very helpful. We can go right, get to where these guys are about to do their dance move, and then split our clip.
And that's just moving it by frame?
Yeah, we're just going a single frame at a time, which is very useful to get, dial in to an exact point of a clip.
Yeah, that could also be useful for capturing a specific moment for a thumbnail.
Yeah, true. All right, another way to move around with shortcuts, hopefully we're not going too fast here, shift left, shift, I haven't selected my clip yet.
There we go.
It's not liking this for some reason. There we go. So you have to have your clip selected. That was my mistake. All right, so you can see when you have a clip selected and you want to go to the beginning or end, if I hit up or down on my arrows, that will bring me to beginning and end of this clip. So that's useful if you want to quickly get to the end point, and then maybe cut this right here with S. Get rid of that. That's an example of when you would use that. Another way to bounce around. I can't get Command S to work. Maybe it's because I'm using this keystroke.
Yeah, the keystroke shower might be conflicting.
All right, that's okay. So let's go over in and out cuts. This is a great one, very similar to splitting a clip. It's going to take where we are on the playhead and delete, I guess you can see this little section right here. If I hit I or O, that's in or out. So this will be the out point. And you can see it deleted that section right there.
And if you had done I, it would have been the other section on the left.
Right, so it's going to take this area here and get rid of that whole section. So that's just a quicker way of doing, like, instead of pressing S, clicking this, deleting it, you can just press O, or excuse me, I, and that's going to get rid of that whole section there.
Gotcha. And then you can just close the gaps.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's really useful. For example, we want this clip to end when our music ends. All I have to do is press O. Oop, make sure you select the clip. Press O, and that's going to bring it right to where we want it.
Beautiful. All right. Got a couple more that we can go over.
Yeah, let's see. What did we not cover, Max?
Yeah, so we've done the out point, in point of current clips. Um, oh, you know what we haven't gone over yet? We haven't gone over adding markers, which is something we've never gone over, shortcut or not.
Yes.
This is a great feature, especially if you're working collaboratively, or coming soon, our real-time collaboration. But this is particularly useful if you're trying to put a note to yourself or to someone else you share an account with. And you can do so by simply hitting the hotkey M, as in Max,
Correct.
or marker. I suppose that's more appropriate.
Yeah. Max or marker, whichever you prefer. So you can see here there's a button to press for adding a marker. So that's one way you can get into that. Or you can just hit M, and that's going to bring up a marker immediately. And you can click on that and add a comment. Like Max said, if you're working with a teammate, this is a great way to maybe leave a note like, what do you think of this clip? Or, add music here, whatever it may be. And then you can link this to the actual clip.
Yeah, or it can link it to a specific point on your timeline, which I believe is the default.
Yeah, so let's say our music has a big dramatic drum fill right here, and we want to edit to that action and have a lot of different clips come in at that point. So maybe we're setting a marker here just to remind us where that drum fill comes in. It's a good use for it. You can use it for a lot of different things, honestly. And with real-time collaboration, this is going to be a great tool to use as well. We've got a sneak peek into some great features coming to WeVideo soon, so stay tuned. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Awesome. Speaking of new stuff, we did just introduce quite a few new motion titles. Why don't we throw a couple of those into the timeline here to show our viewers?
Yeah, that's a great idea. All right, so if you guys have a plan with motion titles, you're going to see these new motion titles. They go to any plan with access to motion titles. So I'm going to preview a couple of them. Some really great stuff in here. I like this one.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the elastic snap.
So you can see how easy that is to add in there. Because we are in a timeline template, we can actually go ahead and drag any of these new ones directly into one of these boxes.